Lemonada.
You can focus on exercise, nutrition, all the things you're supposed to do for your health, but if you are not sleeping well, it is very hard to feel refreshed.
Especially when you wake up overheated in the middle of the night, that completely affects my sleep, which is why I love the Chili Pad 2.0 by Sleep Me. It is a water-based mattress topper that controls your sleep temperature and works with your existing mattress. And if one person sleeps hot and the other sleeps cold, and that's Adam and me, each side can have its own temperature setting, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I also love that it automatically starts when you get into bed, so it feels seamless. Visit www.sleep.me/Gretchen to get up to $255 off your Chili Pad 2.0 with code Gretchen. This special offer is available for Happier listeners and only for a limited time. Order it today with free shipping and try it out for 30 days. You can return it for free if you don't like it with their sleep trial. Visit www.sleep.me/Gretchen and see why cold sleep is your ultimate ally in performance and recovery. Today's episode is brought to you by Jevity. If you've ever had blood work come back fine, but still felt like something was off, this might sound familiar. What stood out to me about Jevity is that they go beyond a standard annual physical.
It's an all-in-one precision health membership that goes beyond the results. You get comprehensive testing plus a dedicated 3-person care team, including a longevity specialist, to help you understand what your body is telling you and build a personalized protocol. That's what makes Jevity different. Most companies give you pages of lab results and leave you to figure them out yourself. Jevity helps you put that information into action with personalized supplement packs, access to hormone optimization, peptides, and ongoing support, all in one membership. Head to gojevity.com/happier. That's GOGEVITI.com and use code HAPPIER to get 20% off your membership. One more time, that's gojevity.com/happier. Code HAPPIER for 20% off. Jevity services are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Results may vary.
Hello and welcome to Move Happier. It's a bonus episode of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast. We created this for the Move 26 and 26 challenge, where we are challenging ourselves and listeners to move for 26 minutes a day, every day in 2026. And today, just to have a little fun, we're doing something different. As listeners know, Elizabeth is not only my co-host here on Happier, she is also the co-host of Happier in Hollywood, the podcast she hosts with her longtime writing partner and friend, and somebody I've known since childhood because she grew up in Kansas City with us, Sarah Fain. So today we're bringing our two podcasts together for a deep dive into more movement during the summer. I'm Gretchen Rubin, a writer who studies happiness, good habits, and human nature. I'm in my little home office in New York City, and joining me today, well, for one, from Los Angeles, is my sister Elizabeth Kraft, who goes by Elizabeth for the purposes of Happier, but then assumes her other name, Liz, for Happier in Hollywood.
Yes, that's me, Liz/Elizabeth Kraft, a TV writer and producer living in LA, and with us is my co-host of Happier in Hollywood, Sarah Fain.
I'm Sarah Fain, a TV writer and producer living in Ojai. I am so excited to be here with you two today, with Liz/Elizabeth and you, Gretchen.
Oh, this is so fun. I've always listened to Happier in Hollywood, but today I'm part of the conversation. And I need to point out to people that Fain, your last name, Fain, is sort of an old English word for happy. I knew it in the phrase like, oh, fain would I be to see thee again or something, but it really means happy. So it's very appropriate that you have the name Happy.
It's fate.
It's fate. It's nominative determinism, old English style. So this week, our Try This at Home suggestion is, as you think about your move 26 and 26, and if you are finding it hard to stick to it or do it every day, or even if you're doing it, but maybe, as the year drags on and we're getting to the halfway point, identify your biggest obstacle to movement, because often we know exactly what we want to do. We want to swim more. We want to walk more. We want to do yoga every morning. We want to stretch every evening. But one thing that we talk about all the time is that it really helps to identify the exact problem, because once you identify the problem, you can much more easily spot the obstacle. And it's not always what you think. So Elizabeth and Sarah, first talk about what is the shape of your Move 26 and 26. What do you think your obstacles are? Sarah, you go first. What's your goal and how's it going?
My goal is to walk 26 and 26, and in general, just walk more. And my obstacle is time. I have a very weird schedule. It's different every day. I don't know how to predict it. This is the first time in my daughter's life I haven't had regular childcare. So I also have more just driving her around responsibilities, and I just haven't figured out how to master my time yet.
Well, it's interesting because I know on Happier in Hollywood, you were talking about how in the fall, Violet's going to be back at a regular school schedule, and that is going to really give you a lot of new structure. But right now you're in less structure than ever before, it sounds like.
Exactly. And it makes it really challenging.
And let me ask you this. When you walk, does it seem like a big chore, like something you have to cross off your list? Or does it feel like, oh, I do sort of enjoy this. It's just that it constantly gets floated down to the bottom of my to-do list because I have so much else going on.
It's that. It just floats down on the to-do list for sure.
Right.
Well, I have a question, which is Sarah's really into gardening now.
Ooh.
So that counts.
I see where you're going.
Doesn't that count as moving 26? Because it seems like every day you're out working in the garden.
And I do feel accountability with my garden. I feel like the garden is my accountability partner.
Right. Yes. You can get an app that's like a fake garden because people don't want to let their little virtual plants die. So you have an actual garden that would actually die if you didn't take care of it. But here's the thing. I think sometimes with Move 26 and 26, you want to add something to what you would ordinarily do. So yeah, you've got the gardening, so that's a good solid foundation, but then you want to build on it. But then on the other hand, you maybe don't want to be too hard on yourself because you have to make time for your gardening, and you do make time for your gardening.
Yes. One thing I was thinking about that I wanted to ask you about is maybe adding like one longer walk in the week that's on the schedule. Is that something that might be, if I literally put it on the calendar, I'm going to go to the beach. I live so close to the beach. I should just go for one beach walk a week for mental health and to hit my goal.
There's no wrong way to do it. I think that sounds great. I think putting it on the calendar is really good, even day to day. I will often note it on my calendar just so that I make sure. It's like go to the Met, because I have to do that every day. But sometimes you just forget something, even though it's incredibly important to you and you've been in the habit of doing it. One day I forgot to floss and I didn't floss for like 2 years. How did that happen?
Exactly.
It's a mystery.
And Liz and I share a calendar. So I feel like she puts Orange Theory on the calendar. And if I put Beach Walk on the calendar, it's more likely to happen.
Okay, that's some obliger energy.
Yes, we can hold each other accountable.
But also going to the beach, I don't know about you, but I have this feeling of wanting to use things up or wanting to feel like I'm living up to everything the world is offering. And for me, if I didn't go to the beach, I think it would weigh on my conscience. How is it that I'm not going to the beach? And so that would be another reason to want to do that beach walk, is then you're like, oh, now I'm using the beach. I'm appreciating the beach. So that'd be even more reason to do it.
Absolutely. Because when I go, I love it.
Yes.
Well, and now Sarah, Violet is old enough to stay home by herself for an hour.
Yes.
Whereas before, I think if you'd tried to go on a beach walk, you would have had to bring her, which sometimes she want to go, sometimes she wouldn't. That becomes a whole push-pull.
Yes.
Whereas now you can just say, oh, on Wednesday at 5, I'm taking a walk on the beach.
And you can come if you want, and if you don't, you can stay home.
Yes.
Well, how about you, Elizabeth? How's your summer movement goal going?
Well, I mean, in general, I think I'm doing really well with moving 26 and 26. But I, as you know, really want to do 100 Orange Theory classes in 26. So that's a big part of it for me. One thing I really want to do this summer is go to Orange Theory 3 times a week, whereas before I've been going twice a week. And I have not managed that. Now, I think there's kind of 2 reasons why I'm having trouble with it. One is it makes me really sore and achy. I really put my all into it, and then my legs just feel like 2 logs for like 2 days. So I'm sore. I have to kind of almost forget about that before I go back.
Yeah.
And then 2, it being summer, it does feel like the schedule is so all over the map. Even though our schedule is always all over the map, I think summer just adds to that feeling. And so I don't have these specific times I'm going. And so I don't know, it's an obstacle.
I agree. Going from twice a week to 3 times a week feels like a major bump up in schedule pressure.
The reason I want to do this is 2 things. 1, I want to get some numbers toward my 100, amp up my numbers.
Yeah.
And then also, because I'm expanding my horizons here, I joined this summer a strength challenge at Orange Theory, which is setting this goal to improve my strength between like June 1st and the end of July. So obviously doing more classes will add to that, especially because I hadn't been doing 3. So it really will be a difference in what my scan shows at the end of it.
Sure. Well, also the thing is, let's say you did it 3 times a week, 4 times. Probably for like a year, if you did it twice a week, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier than doing it 3 times a week, that it does give you that psychological boost.
Yes.
How does that work? Could you put it on the schedule a week in advance, or that's just not realistic?
No, I could, but I think I feel like I don't always know what our schedule is going to be.
Yeah, you've got a lot of...
Granted, I could cancel 24 hours or 12 hours in advance, but I don't know, something keeps me from doing that. I should do that.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay, can I happiness bully you?
Yes.
The first thing to do is to find out what is the cancellation policy. Is it 12 hours or 24 hours? Because that's a huge difference.
Yeah, I think it's 12 hours or maybe even 8 hours.
Okay, well, look it up because you're not sure.
Yeah.
Because then that gets into this whole thing. Like every time you do it, you're going to have this uncertainty in your mind.
Okay.
You should know. Because if you do it 3 times a week, you're probably going to end up canceling more.
Right.
Just because you're going to put it in the slot that feels the most tenuous.
Yes.
So it probably could be bumped. So you want to know what the policy is, because you don't want to stress yourself out 24 hours in advance if you don't only need 8 hours in advance. That's a big difference.
Right.
So I would say do that. And then I would just say put it on the calendar twice and just see what happens.
Okay. Like 2 weeks.
2 classes in and just see. Now, I will say that you've added the trail and talk every Friday. So that is something really valuable that you've added to your calendar, but that's another slot that is predetermined. And it's very early in the morning, so probably doesn't conflict with a lot of things. But it is something that then you got to organize around that if you want to do it, and you're finding it really valuable.
Yes, you're right. And then Trail and Talk is every Friday morning at 7. I'm doing Fryman Canyon with a group of women. And yes, I used to do Orange Theory often on Friday afternoon.
Oh, there you go.
Because we usually don't go out Friday night. And so, yes, that is definitely a time that has fallen away because I'm just too tired after doing Fryman in the morning to then go to Orange Theory. So that's an issue too.
But so just to give yourself credit for it, you're doing something that's social, it's nature, it's early morning, it's earlier morning than you would usually do. So there's a lot of good things about it, but it has meant that you've lost this flexible slot that you used to have. So it makes sense that you're trying to figure this out.
But you're right. I think, Gretch, if I put it on the calendar and I'm sore, I'll still go and I'll just say, oh, well, you know, if I'm a little sore, I just won't push myself so hard. But then once I'm there, probably the soreness goes away once you're moving and it'll be fine. But it's hard to make myself put it on the calendar when my legs are really tired.
But can I just say I'm really impressed that you're pushing yourself so hard that you're sore every time.
Well, I mean, I think I'm just not very strong, but thank you. Yeah, it's a great exercise.
When I compare your exercise to my exercise, you're so much more ambitious than I am.
Well, I'm trying.
Sarah, aren't you? Do you think that her commitment to Orange Theory is one of the least Liz things about Elizabeth?
Oh, and it's so amazing.
Yes.
Identifying how many of a certain thing she wants to do every year and then actually doing that, to me, is incredible. And yeah, Orange Theory is the last thing I would have thought you would do. Although you did always love aerobics classes.
I did. I was an aerobics person. And
so was I
love a class. I love a class.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with being the worst person in the class.
Sarah, I'll walk to the beach with you.
Yes, exactly.
And Elizabeth will sign off to Elizabeth.
Tell her to have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah. Send us a photo.
Okay, Gretch, what about you and your Move 26 this summer?
Okay, well, listen, this is so much less ambitious than yours. My 26 and 26 isn't necessarily always in a straight 26 minutes. So one thing I've been doing is, so I go to the Met every day, except Wednesday when it's closed. And when I'm there, I'm just puttering around, daydreaming. But then I thought for the last 10 minutes, I'm not speed walking because that would be super annoying to people, but I'm walking purposefully through the Met so that I am getting a little bit more quicker walking, because one thing about walking is you want to do it faster. Like I tend to just amble.
Same.
I'm convinced, I used to be a fast walker, and my daughter Eleanor was such a slow walker. I walked her to school for years, and I'm convinced that just sort of reset my default, and that I could raise my default back to where it used to be if I just got in the habit of it. So that's part of the reason I'm trying to do this. So I've been doing that, and I love that because it's a completely different way of experiencing the Met, strangely. When you're walking through it, you're just covering a lot of ground. I just notice things in a different way. So that has been very enjoyable. I'm doing that really well. And I walk so much in New York. I'm really trying to walk faster, and I have to constantly remind myself to do that. I think I'm doing a good job of that. I do feel like I will catch myself walking slowly and then walk faster. Here's a funny question to you two. You listen to audiobooks and podcasts all the time, both of you. Do you listen at one-time speed or do you listen faster?
One time.
How about you, Sarah?
I listen at one-time speed, yes.
A lot of people are just completely baffled. They don't understand how anybody does it. I don't understand why people want to speed things up, but I wonder if I did it, if I would walk faster.
You probably would.
Which is part of why I don't want it to be sped up. I don't want to add to sort of the franticness of life.
Yes, because I have thought if I listen to music on a dog walk, let's say, instead of a podcast or a book, I'd probably walk faster.
Yes.
But I just love audiobooks and podcasts too much to do that.
Yeah. So you and I both, we prioritize the listening experience because we're not using it as a prop for exercise the way you might use music as a prop for exercise. But maybe for walking faster, I should experiment. Because again, if my hurdle is I just naturally drop my speed slower, maybe that's good.
I bet that would work.
I'm interested to try. Well, listeners, tell us, have you experimented with just speed? I mean, I haven't really thought about this as like a factor in things. Some people just want to get through more material.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, part of the pleasure is the listening of it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, to me, it's like the parasocial relationship.
Yes.
And so if someone's talking really fast, I feel like that takes away from my parasocial relationship.
Yeah. Interesting. The one thing about you two is you're both obligers and you're very keyed into your obligerness, which is really great because obligers, once they plug in that accountability, it's just so effective.
Yeah, well, I'll point out Sarah does Pilates every Friday afternoon. And again, because it is on the schedule, we never schedule a meeting if we can help it. I mean, occasionally during that time. So we know having things on the schedule and accountability works. It's just making that step to do it. That's really the hurdle.
Okay, but can I point something out, though, generally about this? Is that sometimes when people are trying to get into something, like let's say that they haven't had a Pilates class or something like that on the schedule forever, and they want to start doing it, and their family is like, oh my gosh, it's so inconvenient, mom's taking Pilates, whatever. If you stick to it, people adapt.
Right.
You don't say to yourself, gosh, Sarah, this is always in our way. Like, why? You're so inconvenient. Why is this? You get used to it. And it just, you sort of unthinkingly adjust your thinking. And like sometimes it gets bumped, but usually it's fine. And people get used to it. And I think sometimes people back down too fast because other people who are mildly inconvenienced for the first time protest. And then they're like, oh, I can't impose this on all these other people. If you stick to it, they'll get used to it. They'll figure it out. They'll find a way.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people just don't want to be inconvenienced at all, and they will complain. Anyway, listeners, if you are doing the Move 26 and 26 challenge, what is your obstacle? If you've identified your obstacle, how have you surmounted your obstacle? This is something, I mean, getting exercise, getting movement into the day, I think is probably one of the number one, maybe the number one thing people want to do better. And it's just, we all need to learn from each other because it's time and energy, and that is hard to have. So Let us know on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. Drop us an email at podcast@gretchenrubin.com or go to happiercast.com for everything related to this episode.
All right, coming up, we've got a deep dive into tips for getting regular exercise. But first, this break.
I've been trying to say yes more to little adventures. Nothing huge, just getting out of the routine and going somewhere different for the day. And it really makes you appreciate having a car that feels solid and comfortable, where you're not thinking about the drive, you're just focused on where you're going. That's what stood out to me about the Defender. It has that rugged design, but it also feels really thoughtful inside. And I like that there's a full lineup, from the 2-door 90 to the 110 and the 130 with seating for up to 8. So it really fits different kinds of plans.
And it's built with those durable, purposeful materials so you can actually use it without worrying about every little thing. It also has features that make driving feel easier, like ClearSight technology and the Pivi Pro system, so you can keep track of where you're going and everything you want to listen to along the way. Plus, with up to 89 cubic feet of cargo space and available 3 rows, it gives you a lot of flexibility depending on what you're bringing with you. Explore the full Defender lineup at LandRoverUSA.com.
One thing I've learned about summer dressing is that the pieces you love most are usually the simplest ones, the things you reach for again and again because they're comfortable, versatile, and always seem to work. That's why we keep coming back to Quince. I've been especially loving their European linen pieces. They're lightweight, easy to wear, and somehow look polished without requiring any effort.
Quince makes elevated essentials using premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, but without the traditional markup. Their linen pants, dresses, and tops start at just $32, and their soft denim and organic cotton sweaters are perfect for cooler summer evenings. I also love their 14-karat gold jewelry, simple pieces that instantly pull an outfit together. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen.
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
Okay, Gretch, we are back with a deep dive. You have accumulated many, many tips for how to get more regular exercise.
Okay, yes, because we know the research. People who exercise are healthier, more energetic, they think more clearly, they sleep better, they have delayed onset of dementia, they get relief from anxiety and depression, they're more creative, but it can be, as I was saying, it can be hard to have the habit. So here are some tricks that I have used over the years. I'm not using all of them now, but they have worked for me in the past. And then Sarah and Elizabeth, I want you to pipe in on anything that you have found particularly useful. So one of mine, for years, always exercise on Monday, because I feel like Monday sets the tone, and it gives you that good feeling of you've started strong.
That's good.
Okay, now this one I used to really firmly believe in, but I've changed my mind, which is, if at all possible, exercise first thing in the morning.
I never exercise in the morning. Well, I do when I hike, I exercise in the morning, but I always go to Orange Theory in the afternoon.
Well, you hike in the morning because of the heat, right?
Yes.
Right. One of the so weather is one, but another one is a lot of times that's the time that's the least likely to get interfered with. So it's good to get it over with, and it sets you up for the day because it's just really good for your body. But I do think, especially for night people or people who are not really strong morning people, it's just very hard to exercise then. So before I understood the importance of chronotype and that people really are morning people or night people, I was very much always trying to tell people to do it in the morning. But now I'm like, do it in the time that works for you. Sarah, when do you exercise? What's your preferred slot?
My preferred slot is morning, but my Pilates teacher, her opening is in the afternoon. So I would rather do it first thing Monday morning, but we actually do it last thing Friday afternoon.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But it's actually good because it transitions me into the weekend.
Oh, that's
I think of it that way.
That's a good way to think about it. Okay, this next one, Elizabeth, you will know about this one, which is to give yourself credit for the smallest effort. And this was because our father's line was, if you put on your running shoes and the door shuts behind you, it counts as a run.
Yes. And so many listeners have emailed us that Dad's line about that resonates with them and that they use it to get themselves out the door. And then, as we know, once you're out the door, 99 times out of 100, if not more, you're going to do the thing.
Well, it's like you saying, I'll go to Orange Theory, but I won't push myself that hard. But then you get there and you just do it the way you always do it.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, Sarah, this is one that I think will appeal to you as an overbuyer. Look for affordable ways to make exercising more pleasant or satisfying. To me, this is a good place to spend a little bit more money. If you can get exercise clothes you feel better wearing, if you can afford a more convenient gym. Can you think of some ways that you've spent a little money to make exercise more pleasant or satisfying?
I actually just bought some really comfortable walking shoes.
So important.
Because for me, the beach walk is perfect because it is enjoyable and free. But I want to have really good shoes.
Yeah.
So I just bought some Hoka walking shoes that make me really want to get out there. Also, same for hiking. It's free.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but I want to be comfortable when I'm doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Shoes are a really good place to invest, practically no matter what you're doing. Another is to set goals, but don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And Elizabeth, this is you in the Orange Theory, the tension between wanting to be perfect and then not expecting yourself to be perfect.
Yes. And setting that goal for 100, but knowing if I don't reach it, it's still great that I did 88 classes or whatever it may be.
It's a lot more than you would have done otherwise. This is one that I really struggled with myself, which is to let your approach evolve. For years and years and years, I went to the gym and I saw myself as somebody who went to the gym. And then it just didn't work for me for a variety of reasons. So I stopped going to the gym, but I wasn't doing other forms of exercise because I hadn't acknowledged that it just didn't work for me anymore. I couldn't let go of that identity. And finally, I had to say, I am not a person who goes to the gym anymore. Now I'm a person who does other things. But it was really startling to me how much that identity stood in the way of me actually exercising in an updated way. It was hard to let that go.
Well, and I think a lot of people experience that, like if they are really into tennis, for instance, and that's a sport that some people have to give up because of their knees or whatever. And then they don't exercise because they're not playing tennis twice a week or whatever.
Yeah. Make it as convenient as possible, whatever you can do to make it more convenient. I've talked to people who sleep in their exercise clothes so that in the morning they don't have to get dressed. Paying for a gym that's a little bit closer so it's that much more convenient. It's bonkers how sensitive we are to the slightest little bit of convenience or inconvenience. Here's one that I think is very funny, is don't kid yourself. I remember talking to this guy. I was like, how do you get your exercise? He's like, oh, I do pick up basketball with my friends. And his wife was there. And she's like, you haven't done that in 6 months.
Right.
Right. In his mind, that was the way he got his exercise. And then one of my really, really good friends, so I turned her on to high intensity weight training because she was a person who didn't get any exercise otherwise. And she really stuck with it for like 5 years. She'd had back pain. It went away. It was great. And then she said to me, I'm really just sick of the weight training. I'm going to find a different kind of exercise and I'm just going to switch to that. And I said, that is fine. Once you have been doing that new form of exercise for a month, then drop the weight training.
Yes.
That was like 10 years ago. And she just said to me literally the other day, oh, you were the one who stopped me from kidding myself. There was no other form of exercise she was going to do.
Yes.
So it's just like, okay, what are you actually doing? And then the final thing is just, and this is coming back to that tension that we were talking about, which is we want to hold ourselves to a high standard, like move 26 and 26, but then have self-compassion for ourselves and not be too hard on ourselves when it doesn't go the way we planned. It's that tension. Expect a lot, but also don't get too upset if you don't live up to your expectations. So,
Yeah.
Do you have any to add? Are there any that have worked for you too? Scheduling.
Yes, really putting it on the schedule, I think for us both is hugely important. And without it, it's tough.
And saying it out loud to each other that that is the goal.
Right.
And for me, tying it to socializing is really important. Like my friend Candace always wants to do Fryman, and I'm so much more likely to do it if she or other people want to do it with me rather than going by myself. Could I go by myself and listen to a book or a podcast? Yes. Will I? Probably not. But if there's a person there that I'm going to chat with,
Right.
or my new Trail and Talk every Friday,
Right.
that motivates me to do it.
That's a really good point. Well, and then you get double benefit. Sarah, you moved to Ohio, I don't know, like 3 years ago now, 4 years ago? How long has it been?
It's been 4 years, yes.
Okay. I think for a lot of people, when they have a big move like that, it's very disruptive. How did that, but sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. How did that affect your exercise patterns?
I thought it would be disruptive for the better. I thought it would really change things and I would suddenly be out hiking all the time. In fact, the opposite happened and it was not at all what I expected, which is why I'm so glad that starting in August, Violet's starting high school. She's going to have a regular schedule. I'm going to have a regular schedule. And I finally feel like for the first time, I'll be able to do all the things that I thought I was going to do when I first moved here. So it was very disruptive, but not in a good way.
Okay. Can I give you some happiness bully advice?
Please.
Okay. So she's going to go to school. You're going to be in this regular pattern, but I wouldn't expect that these things would automatically kick in or that you will be naturally gravitating towards all the things that you thought you would do. I would really think carefully, what would your ideal be? Your realistic ideal would be put it on the calendar. And the way we start is often the way we continue. And it's very tempting to think something like, well, now we're all getting used to this new schedule. So let me give myself a month. And once the dust settles, then I'll do it the way that I want to continue. But our habits form so quickly and they are such cement once they form that if you possibly can, I know that it's really chaotic at the beginning of a school year, especially if it's a new school, but if you can possibly do at least some of the things that you would like to do right from the jump so that just feels like she leaves at 7:35. When she does this, I do that, or whatever it might be. Just think about it in advance and try to get it going as soon as the schedule changes rather than easing into it. Because I think a lot of times then we miss the energy of the fresh start and the opportunity to rebuild a fresh habit and get that cement poured in.
Okay, thank you, because that's exactly what I needed to hear. And I had been planning on figuring it out and, the first week, but I will now go, okay, on Monday, I will take her to school. We will record the podcast on Tuesday. I'll take her to school. Then I'll go for a hike on first week of school. I'll dive right in.
And of course you might have to change it because you won't be able to perfectly predict. It's just that fresh start is so precious.
Yes.
But it's very easy to miss it.
Okay.
All right.
I needed that.
Good advice.
And I will heed your advice.
Okay, good. I will expect a report. So accountability.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up, Sarah and I have a Take a Hike, which is one of our favorite segments from Happier in Hollywood. But first, this break.
Hey, it's Christy from Lululemon. I'm in the office with What's New, and the Breezely collection has definitely caught my eye. If you're like me and want to add some lighter, airy pieces to your wardrobe, this is a great place to start. There's a Breezely tank, shorts, and pants, all in our Swift fabric, which is super lightweight and stretchy. They're flowy staples you can mix and match for a really easy, elevated vibe, whether it's to and from the studio or just for every day. The Breezely collection is in store now, or you can shop online at lululemon.com.
Do you hear that? Sounds like breakfast is ready. Because Quaker's coming in hot with morning nutrition. 100% whole grain oats and a good source of fiber to fuel the rhythm of your morning and kickstart your day. And that sounds absolutely delicious. Fuel to start whatever's next. Quaker, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 26.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood. So you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
It's a crossover, so it's time for you guys to do a Take a Hike. This is one of my favorite segments in the Happier in Hollywood podcast, where you propose something for your mental, spiritual, or
physical,
yes, right,
emotional, psychological, any kind of health there is. And we've found that most things impact all of the above. So
yes,
really don't need to distinguish, but we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today our Take a Hike is definitely related to Move 26 and 26.
Our Take a Hike is to go for a loop. This is something we have been doing since we first started writing together. Whenever there's a break and we need to clear our heads, we just take a walk around whatever. If it's a studio lot, we take a walk around the lot. If we're renting an office, we take a walk around the block. If we're at home, we take a walk around the block. Just getting outside and doing a loop just is so refreshing.
And we often find that we actually are more productive while walking than we were in our office or wherever we're working. So we do it for a break, but it actually often ends up being the most productive parts of our day is when we're taking loops.
I think you started calling it taking a loop when you were on the Disney lot, if I remember, because there they had a very specific loop. Am I remembering that right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
And we also were on the Fox lot for years, and we would loop there, and I don't remember what we called it, but it was definitely taking a loop.
But this is a question I've always wanted to ask you. So you're out there, you're walking. Do you say to each other and to yourselves, we're going to talk about work? Or do you just talk about whatever you want, but because you've been talking about work and you're at work, you just naturally return to that? Are you trying to direct the conversation in any way, or you're just doing whatever feels natural?
Usually we're just doing whatever feels natural. Sometimes we'll be blocked and say, let's take a loop, and something will occur to us because we're moving. But usually it's more just part of the natural flow of things. We just always talk about work.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And I will say one of my least favorite things about the work from home movement is that it does cut down on looping and walking during the day. I mean, when we were on the Disney lot, I mean, we would walk probably 4 times a day. We would take a 15 to 20 minute walk.
Right.
And we felt very justified in doing so, again, because it was very productive. So we definitely don't do it as much now, but when we're together, we're much more likely to do it than when we're apart.
Now, do you ever do walk and talks where you're walking in Ojai, you're walking in Encino, and you're just talking with your headphones? Do you ever do that, like a long distance loop? I like that phrase, the long distance loop.
Yes.
Yes. Like, hey, let's take a long distance loop.
We should do that. We do it on the treadmill desk. We both have treadmill desks, so we might be walking and talking on the treadmill desk, but it is not the same.
No, it's not.
As being outside. So I think we should try that, a remote loop.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives in London, and we'll do that sometimes. And I'll walk in the park, and she walks, I don't know where she walks somewhere. And we just catch up that way. It's not the same as being side to side, obviously, but it is refreshing. It's more refreshing to go outside. You've got the air in your face. You've got the sunlight in your eyes. You're really moving through space. And I think that just I think the treadmill desk is fantastic, but I think there is something about actually being outside.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm curious. You guys try a long distance loop.
Walk on the beach.
Absolutely. I'll walk on the beach and you can walk in the Encino Hills.
Yes. Sounds very glamorous when you put it that way.
So that's the suggestion, is to take a loop. Is that the phrase, take a loop?
Yes.
Take a loop or take a long distance loop, and let us know, near or far, what worked for you.
Yes, we want to hear about all those loopers out there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it for this bonus episode of Happier. Remember to try this at home. Identify your biggest obstacle to movement this summer. Let us know what you discovered, what you tried. If it worked for you, we want to know. If you'd like to join us for the Move 26 and 26 challenge, where we are challenging ourselves for 26 minutes of movement every day this year, you can find more information at happiercast.com/move26. And remember, you're never behind. The best time to start Move 26 and 26 was January 1st. The second best time is now. It's great if you join halfway through.
Thank you to our executive producer, Chuck Reed. Thanks to Sarah Fain and everyone at Lemonada.
Thanks for having me. It was fun to be here. Bye.
Bye, Elizabeth. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Chuck. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Sarah, I love seeing your crawfish, or what do you call it?
Crawfish.
Your clawfish.
Crawfish. Although I like crawfish also. Yeah, I can touch both walls.
Will you send me a video of it? Because I have a little tiny weird, it's like a very large closet or a very small room. And I'm wondering if I could do something like what you've got.
Oh, yes, I will. I'll send you one now.
Athletic Brewing Company crafts award-winning non-alcoholic beers for those who want to be part of every round. With over 185 flavor awards, they're exceptional NA beers that fit your lifestyle and any social occasion. Summer's full of good times, and Athletic fits right in. Go to athleticbrewing.com to have brews delivered to your door, or find them at a bar, restaurant, or store near you. Near beer. Athletic Brewing Company, fit for all times.